Hey, hello everybody. My name is Ricardo Zulueta, founder of METACOMSpace. Um, Basically, this is just a quick discussion on why we ended up postponing the MetaConference event that we were supposed to hold today. And I'm going to be joined with one of our team members, John. So we can kind of talk about what happened there. If you guys have any questions or any concerns, you can actually reach out to us. You can go directly to the YouTube video, and from there, if you put your text in there, we'll be able to connect with you. Yeah. So anyway, today was supposed to be a big day, but because of the issues we had with the database, basically it's out of our control. Somehow, the Moralis, where our database was, they lost it. They got deleted. We have the conversations with them, and basically what our product development team had to do was re basically redeploy everything that we've worked on this whole time. So um, it just wasn't gonna be enough time. It wasn't the amount of work, it was the amount of time that was gonna take to deploy every single thing that we wanted to put out there. It was just gonna take way too long, way beyond the time of when the event was gonna, for example, just one of them was gonna take 8 hours. So that just wasn't gonna work. Yeah. Someone just said third parties suck. Yeah, it's like we just obviously something is always unexpected when these things happen, but obviously that was a very big one. And my partner, Darren, he worked for like probably 36 hours straight, like no sleep. He was already not sleeping the past 3-4 weeks working on our project. So we've all been like working so hard trying to do what we could. Our biggest really concern was the exhibitors, because our mission is to uh, help people make more meaningful connections and experiences through events. And one of the most important things when you do an event is between the exhibitor and the attendees. Well, if that's not happening in the event, that's going to be very detrimental, because that's the most important relationship that we can provide, because they're going to be the blood of the for the events. We know we don't want to keep looking for new exhibitors. We want them to have a great experience, and how they can see how they can really connect with your audience, customers, clients, attendees, whatever they may be. That's why we were uniting so many different projects, because we wanted to see, like, right now in the NFT space, that's very exclusive. It's what can I do for my community? And right now, all these communities are dying because Discord just isn't enough. Everyone's getting Discord fatigue the same way we had Zoom fatigue. One of the biggest things we're solving with our metaverse was the ability to interact and communicate dynamically. One way I've been explaining this is, with Zoom, not everyone was doing Zoom before the pandemic. It skyrocketed, right? So skyrocketed means the majority wasn't even using Zoom. Now it's become so common to do this. So many people communicate like this. I don't know the last time I gave out a phone number. You go email, you Zoom, or you do live. You guys do Twitter Space, things like that. But anyway, it solved what the reason people went into Zoom is because it solved the issues of connecting with people, because we lost that for a minute. And having this direct conversation, seeing facial expressions, obviously helped connect you a little bit more. And that's what we were doing. The problem with Zoom and any kind of video chat, it's pretty much limited to less than 10 people. Once you go like 10, even 10 is a lot. 5 is really like a good conversation. Even when you hang, and I always tell people, like, I challenge you to hang out with 10 friends and all have the same conversation the whole entire time. Impossible. Even with 5 friends, you end up with 2 here, 3 here. It always happens. So what we do with the our metaverse is basically allow you to connect dynamically, just like the way we do in the real world. And Zoom and video chats cannot fix that. You're limited. That's why when you go in Twitter Space, does everyone get a speaking role? No. I think the maximum is it 10. right? 10 is the max for Twitter. For Twitter Space, even Discord, I think Discord is like maybe 10 speakers max. There's a reason for that. That's why they don't let everyone speak at the same time, because you can't dynamically connect with each other. Basically, people got Zoom fatigue because all you did was stare at a screen. Or when you're on Twitter Space, you're basically mostly a listener. You get the same speakers almost all the time. But how do we connect the listeners? That's not what's happening right now. That's what we're doing with this MetaConference, because what it's doing is allowing people to connect outside of just the exhibitor attendee or speaker to attendee. It's attendee to attendee. That's the missing element. The same way we do in the real world. When you go to a conference, everyone here, if you're in the NFT scene, I'm sure when you went to the NFT NYC, the best experience you had was not the conference. It was outside of the conference. It's who you met, the external stuff. That's what people wrote, because you know the conference and the speakers. I'll just listen to them on YouTube. Like, that's why you go to the conference, right? Because you're going there to not only listen and get, this kind of, I guess experience, like, or education, but it's really the experience with meeting the exhibitors, attendees, things like that. And that's what's really what we wanted to provide, So, it was a difficult decision what we did today. Holy shit. No sleep. Like, I mean, man, even with no sleep, we still had to postpone. So this is why I wanted to make sure that I was up for you. I was going live and letting you know that we're not trying to hide here, that we don't kind of, take you for granted. It was very important. We didn't have enough time to give the exhibitors to update. In fact, what I'm going to do is basically guide you through the metaverse and let you just kind of see and talk about what we really wanted for you. But if you're not going to experience this, it just wasn't worth it, And, thank you, like Crypto Art, like, he's being very respectful right now, I mean, respectful, like really positive, respect the grind. Thank you so much. Like, this has been painful. Like, we had a big discussion with the teams, like, how are we going to do this? And, John and I were just like, transparency. That's the best move, is transparency, because I'd rather take the heat of telling the truth than pretending that, oh no, it wasn't us, everything's cool. Well, it's not our fault. And I'm just like, yeah, because from the other side, I would hate you, Yeah. So I wanted to make sure that it's like, no, I'm taking responsibility for this. I'll take accountability. But I want you to know why, because we need you to connect. A lot of people, if you entered our metaverse, and if we did not postpone, people would enter the metaverse with all the assumptions of what you've seen about the metaverse or what you've read about the metaverse, and you're going to assume everything, that, oh, it's the same thing. Oh, this is what they're doing. Oh, you're not going to see the interaction, the communication, like how we've developed some things inside our metaverse that is so unique. And and the most was what really wanted from this was feedback, because I really wanted to know, how are we doing? Is this okay? And if we give you a crappy version and you don't know what we actually already built, but we just haven't deployed, we're not going to get the correct feedback at all. So we wanted to make sure that we're out there, because everything we build is going to be based on feedback. This is just the beginning. This is our very, very first venue that we're showing you guys. But there's going to be more. So there's an opportunity too to just kind of give you gist of like what we're really trying to build here and what our plans are for the future. But I'm gonna show you guys what's going on. Yeah, someone just threw earlier. They want to see this in VR. Yeah, exactly. Like it's gonna be exciting what what it's gonna look like when it's out there. So let me just show you kind of what's going on. So I don't know if it's going to look pixelated for you guys, but sorry. So just you guys will understand once I kind of go through this. We actually had a lot of things that was going to be on these walls, but obviously with the database issue, it's just gone. I mean, they weren't really even apologetic about it, which is kind of weird. It's kind of a big event. So these are the 3 sections. We were actually, so every booth, so this is the welcoming booth here. We were going to have, 3 representatives that was going to talk to you about different subjects, whether it's about, the events, education, or entertainment. My screen resolution sucks. It's actually a lot better. So whatever you guys are seeing is not what it's supposed to be. Because of the rush here, so anyway, these were one of the speaking stages. The reason my partner decided, like, hey, you know what, we were gonna make an external auditorium, but because this is our first event, we feel that no one was gonna understand how to go about things. Oh no, what happened to all the booths? Must have gotten restarted. See, this is what I'm saying. I know this is only the test site, but I actually wanted to show it was just there. I thought it was just, where did it all go? I think I'm gonna have to, maybe I'll do a hard refresh. I don't know what happened there. I think maybe my partner is working on something there. But anyway, that's the problem that we were having. It's like the exhibitors didn't even have enough time to update their booths. So yeah, we could have opened it up, let you guys see it. Again, it would have been bad if you guys, looks like he took away all the booths. I think he's working on it or did something. I really wanted to show you guys how you could, what do you call it? Update the booths from an exhibitor point of view and all that stuff, but it looks like it is gone unless there's that. Yeah, there was another here for them. I think he must have taken it offline or something, but I guess I won't be able to do that. Anyway, one of the things that we really wanted was the exhibitor relationship. When you go in there, it was going to be like such a great conversation. Like, the exhibitors had the ability to have representatives, and you could have assigned multiple representatives, because people need breaks and things like that. But the way they were going to, oh, it's back. Here we go. Now we're talking. And we're back. So there was going to be prompts like this, and these are things that going to happen throughout the thing. So when you press 1, it opens up a profile. And so if the exhibitors aren't able to put this information in, you're not going to get the experience, because this is how the exhibitors were going to communicate with you guys and connect with you guys. All this information. Look, it goes straight to the OpenSea link there. You can watch the videos here. It's just a much better experience. And this is not even the version that we actually wanted to give you. There's actually more to it. But this is just what you're seeing now, because it's what I'm able to show you. There's a lot of interactivity inside this metaverse. When you go up to a TV, it'll say, you can see on the bottom there, it gives you now the 2 options: open a profile or watch the video. As soon as I leave, it disappears. And we were going to be able to do that. And if there was someone here to chat with, and I was, press the chat, we'd have been able to chat with the person, and he would have basically turned into almost like an automatic Discord or Zoom meeting with up to thousands of people, kind of like a Twitter Space kind of session where the speaker or the representative would have been able to answer any questions people had during that, and we could have had different speakers on there simultaneously. That's what we were doing, and as you can see, like, we didn't even get to get our booth together for this event, because we were more concerned about the exhibitors than it was for us. So, we can always do a future event. And as you can see, like, not a lot of people got to update their booths. So you're not getting the real experience. They're all gray and white right now. Like, it was supposed to be so much more, and we had it all done. And Darren actually took the time to enhance everyone's booth, but then giving you guys the opportunity to just update your booth with the colors that you would have preferred or wanted. It was up to you. You could have customized everything yourself. I feel so bad that my screen, my extra screen has like low resolution here. But it would have been, it was going to be such a big difference. Um, there was going to be an ability to do raffles. We were going to measure and give analytics to our exhibitors. That's the thing we wanted to provide for exhibitors as well. Again, we always try to bring things that are from the real world to online. And one of the things that we want to do is enhance your experience online, because nothing can beat the real world, right? I hope everyone's in agreement with that. Like, there's just nothing like the real life connection. That's our focus, is connection. It's not about how cool the metaverse is, how the graphics. It's like, how well are you connecting? And there's nothing that's going to beat the real world. But what we can do is enhance things that you can't do in the real world. One of the best things, obviously, is location, because now as an exhibitor, you have access to the globe. You have around the world access. But how do we create that connection? So we have to enhance how you communicate and how you interact and what you can show. Everyone that was, we had people that were going to give away raffles and prizes just by simply putting your booth out, and how long they were, stayed there for. Because we didn't want them just going in, out. Well, that's my raffle, that's my prize. Go in, out. All right, got it. I think actually the Sharks has it somewhere. I gotta look for them. I know they had implemented something, and I think we put it in. I'm not sure if it'll show, but I kind of want to show you guys just how cool the things are we were trying to accomplish here. Like, you can see, even Worlds Beyond wasn't done. We were really just trying hard to make sure that you guys were all good before we even worked on ours. Even the front wasn't even done yet. So that was the thing that we were really focusing on, was the exhibitors. And without them, the event wouldn't really be, working as well. We really wanted. Sorry, like, I'm look like a drunk freaking avatar, dude. Where is? Did I pass it already? Oh, I don't know where it is. I know
what are you looking for?
The what do you call that? The sharks.
Oh, the salty shark?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like in the front. Yeah, it's
Is
somewhere
it?
on there. Yeah.
Did I pass it?
Maybe the other side. See, this is how big the metaverse here is.
I know. And this is what's cool. So this was going to be the experience. As you're looking, you
It's in
really
the
want to
left
check
side.
out every booth. You're like, whoa, that's sick. What are you guys about? Like, Patch Liz, what's up? Like, I've seen your YouTube videos. Like, oh my God, I'm going to get to talk to him live? No way. Like, that was
Go
the
on the
experience
very
you were
left
gonna
side. Near Banana
get. On the other
Ballers. I
side?
think that's where it's at. Yeah.
Okay.
Or near there somewhere.
No,
Behind you.
Where they are.
There you go.
I passed by. Oh, I did pass. Oh, it's not implemented right now. I thought it was going to be here. Sorry, guys. Yeah, we I guess it was just an example that we were showing them. Yeah. So, you were going to be able to do raffles and stuff like that inside the metaverse here. And it would have been really cool to see, that's the way we were going to give away whitelists. And we were going to supply the exhibitors a way to, um, interact with their audience. We were going to do public announcements, because one of the things, as the organizers, anyone will be able to host, their own events for their own brand, for their own communities. And we want to make sure that we're supplying them with the right tools to be able to do that, right? One of the things that you could do as a host was, basically do these like public announcements. And yeah, thanks. There's a lot of people. I'm so thankful. Like, all the interaction, the excitement for the exhibitors. That was really our focus. Like, how excited are the exhibitors going to be bringing their community here again? Like, the Discord lifestyle is just dying because there's not enough connection. It's not the same as this. That's why you guys get to know the founders, because they're the ones that get to do this. You get to see them. You get to hear them. But how about the community themselves? Yeah, you connect here and there at your own leisure, but then you connect outside of the community. It's because you're connecting through DM, direct messaging, and everything else. It's not just because you were in Discord. It's how you were communicating in Discord, and then you bring it out and that stuff. And that's what we really wanted to do. We wanted to make sure that you were leaving with some kind of connection, because that's the most important part. Look at every metaverse. There's so many metaverses right now. Why aren't you in there? Meta, billions of dollars in Facebook. Why aren't you in there? Right? Got to ask that. So again, I'll go back to what I was saying before. When people are saying like, "Oh, I would never go to the metaverse," it's like I need to be able to touch them and feel them and hug them, and we gotta have to hang out, drink some beers and this. And then my question next is, yeah, but you still use Zoom, right? Like you still video chat, but you can't touch each other. Like, so I don't understand why. Then why do you do that if it's meaningless, or if there's no connection whatsoever? Like, you have to explain that to me then. And if you can't, then that means it's like it's solving a problem. It's allowing you to connect because the dude is in Florida and you're from California, but the only way to connect is through video, right? The problem we're solving is, well, how do you connect with more than 10 people at once? How do you connect with 1,000? How do you connect with NFT projects who have 10,000 communities, people in their communities? How do you connect that way? How do you make them enjoy? Do you just want them to listen to you the entire time? Or would you like everyone to kind of meet, connect? Because a real community is supposed to be able to sustain itself by itself, right? Not because a leader is always there, or the only time there's an event is because a speaker's coming. Like, that's not how a community is supposed to happen. The community should be coming up with their own ideas of what kind of events they want to pull together, not just the moderators and role. Like, there was supposed to be some kind of organic thing that happens within the communities. And that's why within the Metamorphoses, we created teams. For our NFT project, all of our Metamorphoses are going to have different team colors, because we wanted to make sure that there was some kind of a community within the community, because we were going to allow them to host their own events. And for me, it's almost like the way the way Apple let people develop apps. Instead of them developing all of their apps for the phone, let people else with the creativity and all that stuff to come up with that. And so that's what we wanted to do. Like, people are going to come up with their best events, not me. So the Metamorphoses was really just a way for us to expand our creativity and let other people connect and create there's going to be people that are friends with music artists. There's going to be people friends with brands that really need a way to connect with more than 10 people in a more meaningful way. And that's the way this is what this fixes, right? It's very difficult to do that without being able to communicate and interact. And the interaction, that's just the next step that we're going to be working on. What you're seeing here, this is just a convention center. Like, this is just the demo of how you can kind of communicate and all that stuff. But this is the first step. This is the small one. Like, I know John was like, "Oh my God," or like, as you walk around, you get so curious of what's around the corner. Like, you really just want to see like every booth, like, "Oh, what's that one? That's so cool." And then, the exhibitors, you ask questions and get more information. You can go to their links. Like, "What are you guys about?" "Oh, sweet." Like, you can go directly to their Discord, Twitter, all that stuff. Watch their videos that they have on here. It's going to just make that experience so much better. But this is just the beginning. So this is just a convention center. What we're going to be building are different types of convention centers, different types of venues for events. We're going to have a yacht for like a more private party. We're going to have concert venues with 4 stages, but we're also going to have a venue for a small band in a local bar scene. So what that does is allows people with different budgets to be able to host their own events, whether they're going on tour, they just want to get people that are fans of theirs to go into there. Like, there's going to be just so much more that we can do. There's so many types of events, especially different scenes. Like, when we have a beach scene, you're going to have like summer type brands, or when you want to do a social event because it's freaking raining, I don't know, like Seattle style, like, "Hey, let's go to the beach today." Again, it's not just about the scene. It's what kind of connections are you going to make? And what it does for the Metamorphoses, by allowing you to host the events, you're also able to monetize. these events. So you can have your own exhibitors that you're connected with, or dependent on your niche, what are you doing? And there's so many people that we can cater to. There's so many communities, whether it's meetups or Facebook groups, that want to communicate and connect more with their audiences, but they just can't. They're texting right now, or they're doing Discord. Discord right now, I guess, is so far the biggest winner as far as social, right, John? Like, there's really nothing that's kind of competing with the way. I mean, there's Slack for business and things like that, but when it comes to video, I think there's nothing that's going to beat a metaverse scene. You just can't beat that. So these are the things that we're going to be providing. Again, the most important relationship is exhibitor to attendee. Like when, let's say a band, obviously you kind of consider them like an exhibitor, right? When a band is playing on stage, obviously it's just going to be like any other thing, right? You got to put on the screen. So to me, I have just a different thing on how the metaverse should be. A lot of metaverse platforms are very focused on more giving you a fantasy world. And to me, I think bringing in as much realistic behaviors is for me, is what would win, because I want to cater to professionals. It's not just about gaming. It's very difficult to entertain all the time. That's why there's how many levels of, how many levels of games are there being created? It's because they have to keep you in tune. They have to keep you entertained. And the way we do that is basically by, through events. It's always the connections, because the good thing is you're always going to make new connections, right? When you do any parties or anything at all, like, it's really, where you're going. Like, for example, look at this. All the things, like, you can enter a raffle. Like, that's some awesome, like, interaction within the metaverse. And, I think it just enhances it. Like, you got the snippets crew right there. Lambo looks cool. Like, dude, this is awesome. Like, this is like real life stuff. Like, how do you win this Lambo? And this is a one of one Lambo that they were going to offer. Like, you're going to be the only one in our metaverse having this, and it looks sick. You're not only just going to have it, you're going to drive this thing in our bigger metaverse called Orbit. So that's our metaverse for people that are, always asking, like, what metaverse is it on? Because people think, oh, Decentraland, Roblox, or whatever. And I'm just like, no, dude, it's Orbit. That's how we're rolling. So there's so much things bigger. So basically, the way we partnered with Orbit is he understood the value that we were providing by creating these events, right? I have a lot of experience with offline events. So again, what I was doing is just bringing all my experience from, that's funny. Metadocs, you already convinced us. It says, shut up and take my money. Thank you. But yeah, like, so the experience here, this is just the beginning. This is just an introduction of what you guys are going to experience. Again, no one's ready. So Orbit is a great metaverse, but if no one is there, it wasn't going to be good enough. And he understood what I was trying to say about more meaningful connections. And let's build the population. They have to understand first how it's going to be in here. And we ended up partnering up because it made sense. He knew what he could provide. And we're starting with our, we decided we're going to go with the Metacom Island with a variety of venues. You get to pick and choose based on your budget, based on the type of event you want. And we're going to be producing that. You're going to see a small bar venue. You're going to see private. And this is how I actually got into the metaverse scene, because when I was rewind that. I was already getting the metaverse scene because of the pandemic. But then when I learned about the NFTs, I'm just like, the first thing was like, oh my God, the integration of NFTs in the metaverse is going to be sick. Like, everything's just frictionless, the verification, authentication. Like, so wait a minute, let me get this straight. If you own an NFT, you can't come into the VIP room? Oh my God. Like, and then you can't ride a car unless you have this NFT. There are so many things you can apply, and the utilities that people or projects are always mentioning. I'm like, we can give this to their communities as well. Shut up. So we can say, like, if you have this trait, this NFT, then you can go to this room. But if not, sorry, you go in this room. Like, we're giving all these communities utilities. The same way people were thinking, like, oh, let's buy land in Decentraland. Like, yeah, that's what they were using as a utility. They used that, like, oh, we're going to buy land. But what are they really doing for your community? Because all of you guys are just attendees, you know? So we're really providing that value that we wanted people to experience at this one, to go, what else can I do with my community here if this was my event? The thing is, just to make it even more affordable, why don't you hop on to other events that's catered towards your kind of niche, whatever you're doing for, you know what I mean? So like the shark exhibitor booth here, you know, they get, what is it again? Salty Sharks. Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Salty Shark Uprising. So they're awesome. They've been so supportive. Thank you so much. If you're watching, you guys have been so cool. Like, you know, they had a cool raffle going on. They were going to do questionnaires, and we were going to publicly announce it and say, hey, you know, if you know the answer to this question, you have to go to the first one to go to the Salty Sharks booth was going to get a free NFT. Like, that's huge. I was like, so that kind of interaction, that kind of thing that we wanted to do, that's what we wanted. And we couldn't do that if we didn't postpone. And you're just not going to get the right feel. And to us, like, I know like so many people are anticipating, but I'd rather give you the experience, right, John? Like what are your thoughts on that? Because I feel like I'm just yapping the whole time.
I know, right? I don't want to interrupt you, but no, seriously, like I think what's most important is that we're able to give everybody the right experience versus like a halfway experience that they're gonna go back and just be like, oh well, it was okay. You know what I'm saying? Versus like, wow, that was amazing. I'm glad they postponed it. Right?
Yeah, totally. Like, I think, and one of the biggest things why we really had to postpone it was, even if we let, like, some people are like, maybe we should just let them in, or, you know, we were talking about this. Why don't we just let them in and let them hang out or whatever? But we're like, yeah, but you're going to make so many assumptions. You're going to make so many assumptions of what you think what it was going to be. You're gonna think like, oh, this basically just like any other metaverse, you know, like, because there's no exhibitors there, you know, because there's it just wasn't going to be enough. We're not publicly announcing these raffles. You're not hearing the speakers, you know, like, you're not getting to see how you talk to the influencers, how you can see which one, how each community was going to represent their brand, because they automatically can put their NFTs on their apparel, you know, things like that. As far as the date goes, we're still not sure, because this time what we want to do is like, listen, every exhibitor needs to be able to have a complete booth with all the information that they needed. We've gotten most of them, but anyone that needs to tweak, needs to update, you get the opportunity to do that in there and really get a feel of what you can do. Get creative of what kind of prizes, raffles you're going to do. You're going to be able to get analytics of how many people walked into your booth, watched the TV, things like that. Actually, am I moving too forward there, Darren? I don't know if my co-founder's listening, but maybe I'm kind of, sometimes I get mixed up, because what happens is we talk about these features, and I don't realize he's implemented it already, and I'm thinking it's in the future. There's so many things. Here's a great example that, you know, we could do, like what we were going to be able to do if Moralis didn't crash. You were going to be able to connect, if you connected and made a contact within the convention, you were going to be able to do basically a video chat, just like it looks on the, you know, the screen now with me and John there. You'll be able to chat with someone else in the metaverse while you're in the metaverse. Like that's what we were trying to do. So we're bringing a lot of like real world features into here, and it's really crazy that you know, all these things that we're implementing, and we haven't even. And there's so many other things. Like, we're also creating a minting facility. Basically, we wanted to show people a different way of minting. Right now, everyone mints by themselves. They go on a website, Tell me the minting experience there, John. Like, how does it work right now?
What did you say, Ricardo? Sorry, you cut off.
The minting experience. Like, how do you mint today? Like with different.
Oh yeah. Well, regular minting guys, it's so lame. Honestly, you go to their website, you literally just press mint now, and then you get your freaking NFT. It's it's
And don't
so
forget to write
basic.
LFG on Discord. You know, don't forget that. So that's the most that's the experience that you get. It's a lonely experience. So what we want to do when we do our minting event for the metamorphoses, what's going to happen is you actually end up on our island. And you end up at the train station. That's where you spawn. Now, from the train station, you obviously board the train, and it takes you across the island. You're gonna have like a welcome to Jurassic Park type of entrance, right? Like welcome to Metacom Island, and on your right, things like that. At least that's what we're thinking. So anyway, you're gonna get already a kind of an intro of where you are, what you're doing, things like that. Once you go through this train ride, at the very end, you go to your stop, you go into a lobby. In the lobby, you get an introduction about the NFT project, what they're doing, what they're about. And then you got to remember too, like you're not by yourself. You're with other people riding on this train, going to the lobby. You're already connected. Like, yo, this is kind of sick. Like, what is this? Now you go into an NFT gallery. In the NFT gallery, you're going to see our PFPs, the possible PFPs, all on there. You're going to see a miniature version of the island. So you can see what we're planning, what we're trying to do, what events. So you get an idea of like what we're about to do here. You're also going to see a 3D version of a building of basically the Metamorphoses headquarters. It's an apartment building. Because every NFT holder is going to get a free, basically a metaverse apartment where they can display their new NFTs or other NFTs as well. So anyway, after the NFT gallery, you go into an auditorium where I will be able to present the more information into detail about what we're going to do with the project and the future plans, things like that. But most of that is going to be explained to you along the way. So really, my part is going to be short because you're going to see videos that you can watch because you saw the interaction within the booth. You'll be able to watch, like different, videos that we put on there. So you're going to get information, and then you go into the AMAs. That's really the more important part for the auditorium. You get AMAs, ask more people, ask more questions. And the good thing is you're already experiencing the utility. This is before you met. Before you met, you already know what you're about to receive, and it's just a small sample. Now, you go into the minting room. Once you go into the minting room, once you mint, basically like instantly your avatar will transform automatically into our metamorphoses. If you don't know what they look like, they basically look like superheroes with wings. And I'll show that real quick just to kind of remind you guys what they look like. Wrong way. So imagine what's happening now if they're like showing up with, when you're minting and all you see are people turning to this, to our metamorphoses, wings popping out. Then you go to the after party. It's token gated. So when you mint, you automatically can enter, and then you'll see a live DJ, like actual live DJ, playing. And the ones that didn't get to mint can't enter. Basically, that's their last stop. Enjoy yourself. We are considering allowing them to see other parts of the island for like a day pass or something. We're talking about that, but that's the experience. And then from there, we say, hey, thanks for minting the Metamorphoses. You have now become an event planner of our Metacom Island. Any venue that we have here, you'll be able to host for yourself or host for someone else. You'll be able to customize like the different booths. These are the plans, at least in the future. But in the meantime, go ahead and go back to your apartments and check it out. And so you go back there, take the train, you check out your apartment, hang up your NFT. If you are, at least this is kind of the plan, if your NFT number is 1648, that's going to be your room number. So you know exactly where to go. probably going to end up on your TV screen in the apartment saying, thank you for minting with us again. But if you could, within about 30 minutes, if you could just go downstairs to the lobby and meet with the rest of the metamorphoses, and, so we can discuss the future of our project. And so that kind of experience we want to give to other projects. You'll be able to rent the minting facility. Now they're not just click, click, click. And all we would need is your smart contract address. And you can get your own developers. We can have some of our that we've already used. It's already tested, all that stuff. But your call. I don't know how different you want to be. But again, once you're in the metaverse, you'll be able to attend our events and things like that. Obviously, most of there's going to be free. There's going to be ones paid. There's going to be concerts. We're going to keep you busy, basically. And that's what the metamorphoses is. I knew that I couldn't do that by myself. Like my boy John over here has got connects. My boy's got connections to
the really
entertainment
cool part,
industry.
guys, the really cool part is if you haven't minted yet, we're going to be allowing people to use our minting process. I think that is like, boom,
Yeah, like I think it's like, to me, it's like, take advantage of going through the process because you get to explain it, people get to explain it, and the way we're doing the minting process, we're not going to do the typical whitelist version. We're treating it like how events work today. I've been telling a lot of people, we're not trying to, change the game here. I'm just not following the NFT space's lead in trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm just trying to put the wheel back, because the way it's, what's this? Malicious sheet. Oh, someone's trying to answer. Oh, that's probably within this YouTube. But anyway, we want to get them to have tickets because the way it works now is reverse. It doesn't make sense with the law of supply and demand at all. Because what's happening is people are getting whitelisted, but they're also getting the NFT at a cheaper price, and they get in earlier, and they don't even have to wait, and they're guaranteed an opportunity. And to me, like, you're getting all these perks and you're paying less. That doesn't make any sense with supply and demand, but it's because it's all based on hype. Because if you don't sell the beginning, then how are you going to overcharge the rest of them? And that's exactly what's happening. If that was happening in the real world, it probably wouldn't work, right? But what does happen, if there is demand, you're going to buy the tickets. For example, in a concert, people that buy VIP tickets pay more. They pay more because of the value it provides. What they do is they get the VIP ticket because I'm going to be front stage in a concert with food and drinks in front of me. That's why I'm paying more, because I get more perks. But imagine going to a concert and paying for a VIP ticket and you're paying less than the general audience that's all the way in the back. Well, that's what's happening right now. That's why it's not working. That's why the whitelisting thing is dying and all this stuff. So to me, it's like, you can claim a free ticket for our minting event, totally claim it, but you can pay for a VIP ticket. It's up to you. You can go in for free all day long. You don't even have to grind and this and like, nope. Just if you're willing, you pay for it. Right now, we're starting at $50, depending on the demand. If that goes up, then we go up. The NFT, or what I want to do is hopefully get the right price, because I don't want to change the minting price. I'm trying not to as much as possible, but I have a feeling the price is going to increase no matter what because of the value we're providing. But I'm trying as hard as hell not to, and only increasing the ticket price rather than the mint price. Because when you have the mint price fluctuating, that's when you get like hardcore flippers, like all up in there. But I think with the value we're providing, I don't think anyone's gonna want to flip. At least that should be the goal of every NFT project. Yeah, that should be the goal. Like, people have questions. Like, John, what's the questions that they ask about the NFTs, like that amount and all that stuff?
I mean, one of the questions that they ask is, why is it like 12,000? Why is there so much? And I always tell them that it's really because we want to make room for enough people to get our utility, right? We're not really rushing for like a flipping type of sale. This is more long term, where the NFT will provide you with purpose and benefit, right? Like, for example, it gives you the ability to become an event planner, so you can host and monetize your own events. You know what I mean? And that itself is amazing, because you guys are able to see what we're able to do. So imagine what we can do when we're hosting your guys' events, and allowing you guys to create whatever you guys need.
And another thing that Yeah, and another thing, like most people understand, because in NFT space, it's a lot of things are very like reversed, right? That's why a lot of things are not working, and people are surprised, like, oh no, like everything's falling. Well, like that was pretty much
right?
it was pretty much
Super
predictable.
predictable.
Even everyone was predicting this in the very beginning that 99% of NFT projects are gonna go to zero. Like there's not one person that never heard that before, right? And the thing is, it's like you're not asking why. Like you should ask why. So to me, from my background, I'm coming from like a startup background. So first and foremost, I think of us as a startup. What value can we provide? What products and services are we going to give you? In the NFT space, they just call that utilities. But sometimes in they have there as a utility as like you get a shirt, or it's like, but what's the value? Like what kind of other value are you really going to put out there? So for me, I'm more a startup first. That's why I already have a revenue model. We're not dependent on royalties.
NFT
We're
sales.
not dependent on primary sales. Our first our first minting event is going to be VIP only. Like it's just going to be invite only. Now, why am I not in a rush to sell out? Why don't I want to sell out? Well, think of it from a startup point of view. They're going to become hosts of events. If I had 12,000 people that want to become hosts, let's just say 10% of them want to host an event. That's 1,200 people. We're not ready for that at this stage. It's almost idiotic for me to accept that. So what I'm going to do, just like any startup, you raise the funds that you need, not what you want, right? Because you don't want to go too fast, because that's a great way to fail as well,
Mhm.
right?
All businesses, man.
We'll give Tipsy some love there. I'll go back for you, buddy. I think I just passed by it, didn't I? Where is it? I think it's back there. I know where you are. Yeah. So we're just startup first. Oh, almost fell off.
You almost fell off, bro.
Almost fell off.
No, you can actually fall off in this metaverse. So just letting you know.
Yes. So obviously, it's obvious to see what our revenue model is, right? Why do you think I give exhibitors so much love? Like, why do you think I have to cater them? Why did we postpone this? Because if they can't get the value out of this, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they're not going to get the value out of this, then that's not going to work for me. I want to get their real feedback. I want to know what they're going to do. I want to know what else they want. That's just how, I guess some people are familiar with the lean startup, so it's always about feedback. Don't build things that you think everyone wants, because everything is an assumption until you get the feedback or some kind of data. Until then, it's like, dude, don't keep building something that you think is cool. You should be building things that you think will help, and the only way to find out if it's going to help is by asking. So that's what we really wanted from this. But you guys know, as a startup, like, dude, like, there's a revenue model in
a
place.
big problem with NFTs right now, Ricardo, is a lot of people
Yeah.
are creating NFTs, and their only way to get more like liquidity is to provide more NFTs to people.
Yes.
And dude, like no one's gonna keep buying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of your NFTs.
Right.
You gotta change it up somehow. The cool thing about our metaverse is it's always forever changing. It's long term and it's short term highs. Like I mean, every event is gonna be so sick. I mean, everybody doesn't even know what we're planning to do. It's mind-blowing.
There's so much more. Like,
So
oh my god,
guys.
all the things we're doing, like even just as far as like the concert venues, how you communicate, like we really want to bring like the real world values here. You got the speakers up here, and here's the big difference. Like I have a different mindset on how the metaverse should be. Again, like before I said, most people are interested in doing these fantasy type of environments. Like, for example, inside the convention center, we're not allowing people to, jump, fly, walk around, like, because what it does interferes with what you were there for. It was to connect with people. If you want to play and stuff like that, you can go outside, or you can go to a different metaverse that allows you to do that or want you to do that, Okay.
So go to Sandbox, Decentraland.
Yeah.
Do all that. You look like Minecraft,
right.
Cool.
So that's what we're trying to do. Oh, someone asked if there's a new date set. No, we don't have a new date set yet. Again, what we want to do is give the exhibitors a chance to really, really, be ready, come up with creative things. How do you connect with your users more or your community more? What can you provide? Take advantage of the opportunity to connect, because if you're just going to be there just for exposure, that's not going to fly. And that's why we were so adamant. Like my team and I were telling the exhibitors, like, you guys need, it's not just for exposure for you, it's a utility for your community. Like
Hmm.
your community is they're getting depressed because you
Like
just keep them on Discord and you just want to do movie night. Like movie
like
night on
utilize
Discord.
us. Like literally guys, like utilize what we have going on here. Like that's the whole point of this Metacom space, is for all of us to network and connect and bring your community so you guys can connect with them. Like, there a lot of NFT projects, they don't really know their community. Somebody
No.
could be going ham and bringing their activity level up, but how well do you really know them?
Yeah, not only that, it's are they connecting with each other, right? Like,
Of
what are they
course.
doing with each other? What kind of love are they getting? And that's why a lot of these communities, they're dying, and that's why we're telling exhibitors, like, you invite your community. Like, it doesn't make sense for you not to. Like, why would you just stand there in the booth? And if you really love your community, shouldn't you want to represent them and let the people know, like, yeah, we're the best community in this convention right now? Because I'm pretty sure if I was just an attendee looking around and I see, let's see, who's this guy? And I see everyone around this booth, let's say, like, people are going to go like, what's going on over there? What's up with the alpha shares? Like, why is everyone around this thing? Like, whoa, wait a minute, what's the information? Like, you get a percentage of all the sales that go through their marketplace? That's sick. So, but if their community is there, they're the best sellers, you know, instead of you selling yourself, because that's obvious. That's always going to happen. So, it's not as meaningful. We have the NFT Academy in here. The things that we're going to do to help their connection with their community is going to be big, because we're going to have classrooms where they'll be able to create their classes. They're all about seminars and stuff like that. They started off as a project accelerator program, basically, helping people launch their NFTs. But with the bear market, they pivoted. They went more with like teaching people how to be agencies, though they still do give advice on launching projects and stuff like that. They have a lot of experience with that, with multiple projects. So that's really cool. They've been really good. They've got great conversations. It's not just LFG, let's go, or whatever. They have real questions like, how do I start, this? How do, smart contract, and all these things. And they're composed of all of the elements of an NFT project or whatever, or Web3. You have the marketers in there, community moderators in there, product development in there. You have artists in there. So what we can do for them, just simply a job fair. Imagine just a job fair with all the product developers, artists, community managers, moderators, meeting in there. All the community moderators that we've gone, I get these crazy messages all the time, like, hey, want to be a mod? Imagine rolling up to one of these projects and saying, hey, how do I get involved? And you're seeing this. Who do you think is going to win? The guy that texts, hey, bro? Or the one that rolled up to you and said, hey, how's it going? I love everything about your project. Da, da, da. You see their facial expression. You know what they're thinking, all that stuff. You can connect by easily checking out their bio on their profile. So you can see if they're legit, if they're really good. They can put their LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. So, that's a big difference. That's a big difference. But the best thing that we can, give them also is just really just imagine having the classroom style. Like, they can choose a presentation room, they can choose a small classroom, they can have different groups. Instead of having different Zoom meetings, basically, instead of having Zoom meetings, basically they can just gather into groups like automatically, like just like in real life. Q&A, like, what our founders, he has a very successful business, and one of the things that he had issues with was during the pandemic was catering to the sales force and training and all this stuff. And he found it very, very difficult to do it over Zoom. People had different level of expertise. So some people were bored, they didn't know what to do. In this scenario, when you're in the metaverse, they could just simply group together in one area and talk among each other. And then this group over here, you go to this class because this is the events class. That one's over there. But then you can still meet up afterwards and go like, hey, I'm just doing a quick break. Where are you from? Texas. Oh, no way. So it becomes a whole different thing. It's not just the same thing. Now imagine homeschools, teachers, like now instead of kids just looking at a screen and going, okay, there's my teacher next. During break, they can leave the classroom, see other friends and say like, hey, what's going on? What are you doing? Oh, with Mrs. Smith right now in math. Like, where are you at? Oh, I got gym class, So it's just a whole different thing, going on over there. Any other thoughts, John? I feel like I'm just yapping like crazy.
I just wanted to see if anybody had any questions, like, about MetaConference and anything else besides the ETA of the postponement. Maybe put it out in the comments.
Yeah. Go to YouTube for any questions or anything like that. Someone was asking, I think this, I'll just put it out there. Snippets of deployment engine for Web3, worlds beyond in the orbit metaverse, and Moralis and sold and IVAX. Yeah, so basically he's just kind of answering like, we partner with them. We're just one of the many things that they're building with snippets. Basically he's agreed for us to have this exclusivity as far as a platform for events for all his different metaverses, I guess. If you have a great idea, you have a different concept, it's a great platform that makes it a lot quicker for you to use to create your own metaverse, worlds, games, some games that you can integrate into it. You can create your own entire new one, all that stuff. And he's just made it really easy, for different people to execute, really just a lot faster. And it's completely decentralized. You guys are going to be able to actually enter our metaverse through your NFT on OpenSea. So a lot of people don't notice, but NFT is not the image. It's not NFT is just the access. It's like buying a concert ticket. You don't care what's on the ticket. It's what it's going to give you. What concert is this for? That's all it is. It's access to the picture, access to the membership, that's all it is. That's all it is. So people are calling it the NFT, but it's really like, what does it give you? What is it for? Because as soon as you lose that ticket, you lose that access. So now you don't have a Bored Ape if it gets taken away. Once you lose that ticket, nope, no more access to it. Yeah, I know you could say all day that it's yours, but but you don't have the ticket. So it's not yours anymore. There's a lot of things that are much safer in the metaverse. For example, when we're talking about the minting, it's going to be a lot less. We're hoping that this is going to help the NFT space because who's going to imitate an entire metaverse they're going to imitate our metaverse just to scam you. It's not going to be 100% secure, but it's going to help prevent all these issues. Another thing is that, you're not going to have these bots that are automated connecting their wallets and automatically, moving around or whatever. Like, how are they going to know how to take the train ride? How are they going to know to go to this section to mint? The robots aren't going to know that, or they can't automate that. And the big thing is during the mint, you're not alone. If you don't know what a MetaMask is, you go like, yo, dude, how's a MetaMask? So you're not alone the whole time. You'll see experts in there. You'll see just Web3 enthusiasts in there. So it's really going to help your NFT space like crazy. But those are just some of the things. I'm sorry, if I'm like rambling and crazy, but we really just wanted to show or talk to you guys about what we wanted you guys to experience, and that's why we had to postpone. All these things I'm telling you, you weren't going to experience it. And I didn't want you guys leaving with that, and it was going to be bad feedback,
It
and you guys
wouldn't
are going to
have
give
been
me
great, man. It wouldn't have been great, honestly. Just to not have
no.
all the features.
Yeah,
Like imagine it like this. Like imagine like like you just couldn't hear all of a sudden, or you couldn't see. Like those are huge parts of what makes us connect with people and connect with everything around us. And we wanted to bring that into the an enhanced version of that inside the space.
yeah.
So I mean,
Anyone
it
has any
also
more
gives everyone
questions?
time. It gives everyone time to finish their boots. Like, there's a lot of people that haven't even customized their boots, as you can see. And yeah, we were only really able to give you guys a day to do it, and people are
Yeah,
busy.
right. And that just wasn't going to work. Like, if you guys saw previous videos of the venue and the booth, like you can see now, like they're all gray. They were all different colors. I mean, they like this would have brought out the yellow or the pink. This would have had. Oh, it was just so cool. Like my partner, co-founder, like he killed. Like he was a designer previously. He's very meticulous. He's very meticulous. He takes pride in is what he does. Like he didn't want to. One of the major reasons he didn't want to put this out there is like, dude, I don't want my name attached to this crappy. This is not my kind of product, and I didn't want people thinking that. And I agree. I agree because he's right. You guys need to see what the hell he's been working on. It's sick. It is way better than every time I tell him an idea, he enhances it. He elaborates on it, amplifies it. Different things. Like for example, what are the things you're going to be able to do at the booth? I said, hey, listen, when people go to your booth, I need them to be able to see their information like right away, right? Because they need to be able to go to their Twitter, this, that, like, quickly and stuff like that. And then this guy comes out of nowhere and says, like, well, why don't we just give them something that they can carry with them, like a pamphlet, and basically they can look at it at their own leisure at any time they want, whether they're after they get done networking or they're just resting or they want to take a break. They can just kind of read through. It's the same way in the real world. When you're at a conference, you go through these booths, but you can't go to every single booth and talk for 15, 20 minutes about each one. So you grab their material just to remind you that you want to check them out. You get their card, all that stuff. So that's what he wanted to do for you guys, is to be able to carry that information with you throughout the event and after the event as well. Especially when you're connecting with each other. Now you can video conference in the metaverse. Later on, you'll be able to meet in a business meeting in the metaverse. Like those are the kind of things that we're going to be providing for you guys. Basically, instead of a Zoom link, you get a Metacom space link. It goes you straight to the event, the whatever venue you decided to choose, whether it's a small social event at a nightclub, or if it's a business meeting and a presentation. So those are things we're going to do. I didn't even get to talk about this. You guys are seeing these. I was telling them about this, and I said like, hey, what I want to get like I want them to have like ATMs, to be able to like enter. What if they don't have the ticket? Like they should be able to buy tickets, or if there's a VIP room, how do I upgrade? So he created these things. These are basically our token ATMs. So you can get, tokens out of there. This is the gorgeous token. So there's going to be a lot of utilities that he's going to be providing with that. We're going to come up with our own tokens because for our own kind of ecosystem of brands that we work with, the events, paying for events, things like that. So we're going to do that. Over here, you'll actually see the, what do you call it? A minting booth. So you can grab a Worlds Beyond NFT straight from the metaverse. So sick, right? These are things you're going to have. You'll be able to mint. This can be right in front. It's like in front of the concert venue. This is how we want people to buy their tickets. Not press a button on a website. To get a ticket, you end up in the metaverse because you can go in through desktop, mobile, or goggles. But we want you to go in there to buy a ticket that way, because then you get to see like, oh, this is crazy, and then buy the ticket. And it's just that you can't enter. So anyway, let's see. Who do we have here? Fungibles. Could you do a drawing with people to see how many people can join and stream? Dude, we have the capacity to do like millions of people because it's completely decentralized. It's peer-to-peer. So we have the ability to cater to thousands of people. He's already kind of tested it. He's got a connection. That's actually what he does is like try to destroy platforms. He works for the government. So it's like, that's a good connection. So he's tested it. He's very, Darren is like a perfectionist, you know, he's great co-founder for this kind of stuff. He loves his work. He loves what he loves this stuff. He loves a challenge. You know, I sometimes he maybe likes my compliment a little too much. You know, I told him he's the Steve Jobs of Web3 right now, and maybe it's getting to his head a little bit. But hey, he's my Steve Jobs of Web3, man. Like, I don't know, I haven't seen anyone better, so I'm gonna go for that. Because what we're doing together right now is really unique. What he's making happen with his ideas, his skills, the capacity of what this can do, like to be able to cater to millions of people. Are you kidding me? Like, imagine having all these things, and we're not even there yet. Like, there's a way that we can expand and watch. If just by implementing cameras, you can actually just see a 3D model version of a real life person walking inside the metaverse for fashion shows, things like that. I mean, there's so many things we're going to be applying. Again, the convention center is just one of the smallest parts that you're going to see before we implement all the bigger stuff that we have. We're not sure which one we're going to do yet. We didn't even talk about the art galleries. You know, there's a lot of sick artists out there that, you know, just doesn't have reach. If we can give them an art gallery where they can, we can curate all these different artists that specialize in certain things. If they like that watercolor, if they like portrait landscape type of thing, or, you know, portrait or landscapes, you know, let's put them all together and see what happens, and help them kind of sell their stuff. But anyway, if there's no more questions, been yapping for more than an hour. Do you guys have any other questions about the minting?
I have somebody asking if we are able to do like a AMA on Discord where they can speak or something like that.
If they can speak, or we're speaking.
Yeah, like they can like speak to us, you know, on like Discord.
Oh yeah. We'll totally.
I told them we can, you know, message them privately, or we can all, you know, talk. If more than like a good amount of people want to get on Discord and, you know, continue with them talking.
Yeah. No, that definitely. I mean, after what we just did and like blue balled everyone, like I think it's. You know, I think we should. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of it's kind of our duty to go in there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like I think. I'm totally open for that. I was actually ready to go for live for 6 hours because I didn't know everyone's schedule, when they're going to come in, and I didn't really want them feeling left out. But this is going to get automatically recorded anyway, so they'll be able to instantly see our, you know, what we just did, what we talked about. I just hope it's, you know, I kind of went a little longer than I wanted, but it's, I really just wanted to explain, like, so everyone knew what we're trying to do here, that you can understand, like, and agree, like, yeah, you're right. You should postpone. You know, that was my intent here, is to give them the realization, like, dude, you're right. It's a good idea to postpone.
Yeah, guys, and you know, thank you all for being so supportive and, you know, really being patient with us. This is literally our first like event, so, you know, we knew there were going to be things that we needed to implement and change in the future, but it's we're lucky that it's happening now, so that, you know, in the future we don't have to run through this again. You know, I'm really happy to have you guys here.
And feedback, especially the exhibitors. You know, feedback. How do we help you? Attendees, feedback. How are you connecting with the exhibitors? How about other people? Is it bad? Is it good? What else you think we could do? Or, you know, I'll even accept it would be cool. You know what I'm saying? If, you know, like, usually I prefer that it would help if, rather than that it would be cool if, you know, like, because sometimes it would be cool is like, I know it's cool for you. You know, like, it'd be cool if we could just fly, you know, in the convention center, you know, or the teleporting. And I'm just like, yeah, like that's an example of how we bring real world activities into the metaverse. Like I don't like teleporting. I think it takes away from the experience, and my co-founder totally agrees with that because the experiences you get, Darren was saying is like it's between the destinations, right? A lot of people say that it's all about the journey. But same thing when you meet people in the metaverse, because it's the metaverse, it's interesting who you're going to end up with. In the elevator, we're going to make you wait in line for certain things. Um, what else? Like it's really those situations. Like you could be walking down. If you teleported from one place to the next, then you skip that whole section. Like, dude, you missed it. Snoop Dogg was taking a walk. Like, you missed it because you wanted to get to where you wanted to go right away. We wanted to give you that experience of realistic behaviors. When you're in there, especially for exhibitors, imagine people teleporting directly to the stage. What do you think the exhibitors are gonna? How do you think the exhibitors are gonna feel that people are going from the entrance and straight to the stage without passing by you? Now look at it from a real world perspective. The reason we go to these events and check out these exhibitors is because you happen to pass by them. You weren't looking for them at all. You were just walking by and you see them. Exposure is the biggest thing for sponsors and exhibitors. And if you don't give them exposure, they're not going to come back. It's not going to be a great experience. And that's what we want to make sure. That's why we have these raffles. They have to go to the booth to win. The one that visits the most booths will win. The most time in the booths will win. Things like that, because we want to make sure, like, I have to hook my exhibitors up. I want to make sure that you guys are actually taking the time to experience what they've got to bring to the table, rather than just going straight to the speaker because we're rocking out with VCon in 2024 because we are, you know, like that, John. A little positive thinking there. You're busy, but yeah, but everyone's gonna go straight to Gary. Like, hey, I'm gonna go straight there. I want to watch his his presentation, and I want to try and see if I can meet him in metaverse wise. So, but if you teleport, it loses that. You don't get that vibe of meeting people, meeting fans, and everyone here. I know there's different NFT projects and communities, but you know damn well you're in different communities. You're not just in one. There's no way you only have one interest. Really, like this is it. So all these NFT or Web3 enthusiasts are not interested in fashion or cars, boats. There's always something else. So uniting these people, I think, is a great way. And I want to know what all these projects are doing, what they're up to, what their community is like. And what's cool is, like, when you have a community of people, like, for example, we'll talk about the Magic Mushroom here. They got a great community. He's started by this guy, Brett. What if you saw a bunch of people with mushroom shirts all around here and everywhere else had nothing? What do you think you're going to do? Are you going to be enticed to learn a little bit more about him? Yeah, of course you are, because it gives you that social proof, right? It happens online in the real world. Which bar do you guys go to? The one where you can get a beer really quick because there's no one there? Or the one with a line? Yeah, unless you're really thirsty, right? You end up on the one with the line. So, these are real world behaviors you need to bring in. But anyway, I think I've talked enough. If there's no more questions, hopefully we got our point across on why we really postponed everything, and that we really, really just wanted you to experience the platform the right way, like in all at once. You were just gonna get the wrong impression. So I hope you guys understand. Thank you so much for understanding, for your patience. What we're going to be giving you guys is going to be nuts. It's going to be awesome. I know people are waiting, trying to test us right now. trying to see, is this really different? And, like, I hope so. And the only way to find out is to find out. And
We'll
like
be
I
on
said
Discord
before,
right now too. So
yeah. So we'll go straight to Discord after this, or should we?
I
go
mean,
to
I'll be in
Discord?
there to answer any
Okay.
questions for anybody
Okay.
that wants to go in there. But I'll be there.
Okay. Yeah. So everyone, if you guys want to, join us in the Discord AMA, at least you get a chance to talk on there. I know here it's a little more difficult, but see, this is the problem. Like you need to be able to communicate more within each other. So, okay, I guess that is it. We will be in our Discord server doing an AMA. If you guys are in there, if you guys have any question at all, let me know. You can email us. Best place, obviously, is Discord. There's a bunch of the team members that will get to you. If you need to go directly to me, I'll most likely grab it, get it, and what else? And hit us up on Twitter, all that stuff too. So we're everywhere. We're accessible. And that is really it. And I think we're going to need some love after this whole thing. So if you guys could, give out those hug emojis, kisses, hearts, we're not going to appreciate it. So this was that was a tough day. That was a tough day of not sleeping just to postpone things, you know. Yeah. So anyway, love you guys. Thank you so much. We can't wait to show you this the right way. We'll set a date as soon as possible. As soon as the exhibitors are ready, that's going to be our cue. If every exhibitor is ready, then the whole thing is ready. Are the
Yeah,
speakers
that's something
ready?
we didn't even talk about. You know, that
What's
we had
that?
a lot of that's something we haven't even talked about that we can talk about on the
What's
AMA
that?
on Discord. Is
Uh,
that a lot of the exhibitors we couldn't move forward because a lot of the exhibitors weren't doing anything. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Oh, as far as
Yeah,
like the pictures and stuff.
yeah,
But the
pictures,
good thing,
little
yeah,
things.
the good thing is that means we need to make it seamless. We need to make it.
Right,
We're learning a lot from that, right? Like,
right.
oh, that means we need to have a better way for them to upload the pictures. We need a better way for them to know that that file is too big, so
Basically,
it's
make
going to
it
slow
easier
down
for
the
everybody.
metaverse. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So we're learning no matter what we're doing, and that's what it's all about. If you're not learning, that's gonna be a road to failure. So
right.
yeah, so whatever. I don't mind that stuff. It just gives you challenging things to do. But thank you guys again. We'll see you in Discord if you guys are there. Again, so sorry. Like this really sucks. But it's gonna be better. It's gonna be worth it for the wait. Okay. All right, thank you. Hey, John, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
See you guys later. We'll
See you
see
guys
you
soon.
in Discord.
Yes, sir.